Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? This is Love Coach Dasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you've never been with me before, I do something a little bit different. I am a coach specifically for women who want to heal and reconcile after infidelity. Yes, that's right. You have been cheated on, but you still hold out hope. You still got that belief in your heart that this is your person and you want to be with them. You want things to work out. You want to forgive, but you just don't know how. Come on in here. We're going to talk about it today. I see you over there, Mulatto Beauty, over on Instagram. Hey, girl. Glad you're here today. All righty, let me make sure I can see everything. If you've never been with me before, if you're on Facebook in my Love After Cheating group, if you're not in there already, make sure you go and join. But if you are in my group, and you're watching on Facebook, go to streamyard.com/Facebook and it will allow you to be seen on my screen so I can see your name when you say things, when you comment. All right. And of course, give me some likes, give me some love. Let the algorithm know that you like to hear from me. You want to hear this good, positive message about actually healing and actually getting back to the love again. You want to hear this. So let the algorithm know by giving me some love. And if you are catching me on the replay, #replay, just so I know that you were here. All right. All right. So, of course, I'm so happy to have so many new members in the Love After Cheating group. Just a little bit of hope, just a little bit of seeding that hope out into other groups, out into the world. People are coming. You all are coming to find me. You all are coming into this group because that's what you want. You want this relationship to work out, even though he's an idiot. And yes, I know. I know myself personally because mine was an idiot too, okay? You are not alone in that, but I don't think that you've picked a bad person. I don't think that that's what's happened. I think that he did a bad thing. I think that hurt people, but I don't think that you have made a bad mistake here. I think that if you love this person and you feel like this is the person for you, that you're right, but this circumstance sucks. And I need to teach you how to get past it. The main thing that you're going to need to know to get past it is you're going to need to work on your trauma response. That is the key to what I teach you right here. And everything that I'm going to tell you in the next couple of minutes, like the first four things and the last thing that I tell you are all about you overcoming that trauma reaction. Everybody is exactly the same. We are all exactly the same. We all experience the exact same things when something like this happens, when we're betrayed like this. It is the exact same reaction in everybody's body, okay? TJ Sells Homes, I see you over there on Instagram. Hey, girl. It's the same for everybody. So you're not broken. I know that you feel like you are. I know that you feel like you just shattered into a million pieces. And that's the first stage of healing. All right. Is that devastation phase. You just found out you are shattered on the floor. However, you're not actually broken. You were designed to do that. Okay. You were designed to be able to shatter and then pull yourself back together, regulate those emotions, get back to your feet, and get your life going the way that you wanted it to again. You are designed for that. You are not broken by any of the reactions that you were having. The overthinking, the questioning, the having the terrible thoughts about what he's doing, not being able to trust. None of that is out of the ordinary. None of that is outside the limits of what your brain and your body are supposed to do when you're traumatized. But the thing is, we can't unpack and live there. We cannot live in a trauma reaction, okay? That's what I'm going to teach you about, is trying to pull yourself up out of that trauma reaction so that you can actually reconnect authentically instead of just trying to put a band-aid on it and try to act like it doesn't really bother you and not deal with those emotions, not be able to regulate those emotions so that your relationship can become the fairy tale that it was always supposed to be. Okay? All right. So first things first, let me know in the comments if you know what I'm going to say right now. What is the first thing we're always going to work on? The first thing I'm always going to tell you to do, it's doing your deep breathing. Do your deep breathing. Have you been doing your deep breathing? If you have not, you are doing yourself a disservice. You need to be doing this 5 times, 5 times a day. That is the first thing that is going to get you out of this trauma reaction. The trauma reaction is an automatic thing. Your brain and your body work together, send out some adrenaline, get you breathing faster, get you feeling like you need to fight or you need to run. It does all of that to you in a split second. What you need to do is take a few minutes and reverse that in your body. Okay, that is what we're going to talk about doing. So that's the first thing, is doing your deep breathing. That reverses the message from your brain that you need to freak out. You are telling your brain, no, no, nay, nay, I am fine. I am safe. I am around somebody that I love. You see me? I'm breathing nice and slow, nice and easy. I am not in danger. When you do that, you convince your brain that you are not actually in danger. It stops freaking out. Okay. It calms a lot of this stuff down for you. It makes it easier for you to connect again. All right. So we're going to do our deep breathing. What we want to do is blow out. First thing, blow out. Now we're going to inhale for a count of 4. Hold that breath for a count of 7, and then we're going to blow out like we're blowing out an entire cake full of birthday candles for a count of 8. When you blow, make the noise, okay? That is going to become a trigger to your brain. That is going to be something that happens every time you do that thing. Your brain is going to know, oh, it's time to calm down. She's doing the thing, so it's time for us to calm down. And guess what? Your honey's going to notice that too. Your honey is going to notice that as you start doing your deep breathing exercises, you're calming down, you're not flipping out as often, and he's going to notice that you're doing it pretty frequently. And he might even help you. I was freaking out the other day, and mine was like, hey, it's time to do your deep breathing. And he walked me through it. He made me do my deep breathing, and I felt better. All right. So it will help. You just need to do it. All right. So 5 times a day. But for the sake of time right now, we're only going to do it 3 times together. All right. 4, 7, 8 is what we're doing. We're going to blow out, make the noise. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Lovely. How does it feel doing your deep breathing? Let me know about that. If you're here with me, you're doing your deep breathing with me, give me some likes, give me some love. Hey, Elise, I see you over there on Facebook. Give me likes and love if you feel like you do your deep breathing and you feel a little bit better. Let me know how you're feeling in the comments when you get to do your deep breathing. Should clear up your brain a little bit. Some people get a little sleepy. Some people get like a little wired. It just depends on what your body is needing, if that oxygen for. But trust me, it will slow down that trauma reaction in your brain, help you to get yourself together, help you to think a little bit more clearly before you react. All right. Second thing that we're always going to talk about every time I talk to you, I'm going to tell you to do your journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? I need you to get on that. I need you to jump on that right now, tonight, okay? Take pen to paper tonight to be able to do that, all right? What happened to my camera over here? That's weird. Why did I lose connection to my camera? Oh, good Lord. Every time. start the camera. All right. I don't know what the heck that was. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, it's always some technical difficulties. Every doggone time I go live, we got something that happens. All right. All right. So hopefully that is all caught up over there on Facebook. Sorry about that. Anyway, we're going to do our journaling, okay? I need you to start that tonight. I need you to take 5 minutes first thing in the morning, last thing before you go to bed, and journal for a bit, okay? I want you to sit down, think about your feelings, think about things that trigger you, think about things you're grateful for. Take about 5 minutes and write them down in the journal, okay? I need you to be doing this, putting pen to paper, okay? I understand that a lot of people use their cell phones, and that's fine and all, but there is something a little bit better about using a pen and paper. When you do that, your brain says, oh, this is important. She's writing it down. She's not just putting it in that little phone thing that she's always got in her face. She's actually writing it down in her journal, and it's right at hand, and we can pick it up at any time, and we will not forget this. We will not lose this. And so then your brain will shut up. Your brain will hush, and then it's in the book, but you don't have to sit there and hold on to it. You can come back to it a little bit later on. This is, let's see, this one is a Choose to Shine guided journal. I think this came from the Dollar Tree. I don't care what you're using. Like this one says, quiet your inner critic. It says, take 5 minutes to let your mind wander. Then write whatever comes with no judgment as to what it is or how it's written. Beautiful. Great prompts. Came from the Dollar Tree. Okay. Get a doggone journal. Okay. It's not that serious. Get a journal, get a pen, start writing. Every time you do your journal, I want you to do your date, your time, your level of anxiety. Your date and time are there to give you data points, to make sure that you know, hey, I was writing this at a time where I was feeling a little triggered. Let me go back and see if that has happened before. Because then your journal will tell you, it will give you the data, it will tell you, hey, the same exact thing happened before. Exact same time or same day or same month, whatever, it will tell you that that is happening. All right. You need that because when you're going through a trauma, you believe that your memory is great, but your memory sucks. It is not designed to be great when you were traumatized. So you think that you're remembering everything with crystal clarity, but you're not. Okay. Things that you've asked over and over again, you will find them in your journal. You'll be like, oh, I did ask that. This is what he said. This is what I felt about it. I knew that already. And you don't have to keep going over the same information over and over again. Now, your level of anxiety is 0 to 10. All right. Everybody's heard this from me before. 0 is no anxiety whatsoever. All is right with the world. All right. Put that down in your journal. And I am making a journal too. I'm working on my journal right now. My journal is coming out in a little bit. But every day on there, I have a star at the top of the page. You can color that star in. You will be able to just flip through your journal and be able to see at the top right corner, hey, this was a good day. This was a good day. This was a 0 anxiety day. You'll be able to see that or see that it was an overall good day just by flipping the corner of your journal. All right. Do that. Put down the days that are great, that are 0, 1 anxiety. Then we've got the other end of the spectrum. Then we've got a 10. A 10 is a loss of control. You are not going to be sitting down at your journal when you're at a 10, okay? You are going to be rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, run screaming down the street naked, levels of upset. You're probably going to be throwing something. Something is going on. You're probably screaming if you're at a 10. If you are not doing all that, if you are not feeling at a loss of control for yourself, you are not at a 10. Don't write that down, all right? We need to leave 10 for extraordinary circumstances. We need to leave 10 for it was above and beyond, all right? We're going to write those things down. We're going to keep track of these things consistently, about 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening, just so you have a record. You can go back and look at it. You will find things in it that you didn't even remember writing because you're in a traumatized state now. So you will write things down and you'll come back to it later and you'll be like, oh my God, that was super insightful. Or, oh, that was kind of stupid. You will be able to figure those things out a lot easier if you do your journaling. Can you agree with me to do your journaling? for this week. Everybody that's here with me now and the sound of my voice right now, give me likes, give me loves, raise your hand in the comments if you feel like you can do your journaling 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening, just this week. Give yourself a little bit of time to do this and see how it works, okay? Next thing that I'm always going to tell you about every single time we get together is have an attitude of gratitude. It is Thirsty Thursday. I want to hear the good stuff that is going on in your lives right now. Everybody's that's with me on Instagram, everybody's with me on YouTube and Facebook. I want you to tell me the good stuff that is happening for you, because your life is not just this trauma. Okay, you have got to remember, you have got to pull those positive, grateful thoughts to your brain in order to start healing this, getting yourself out of this trauma that is so normal but very sticky to get out of. It is super helpful to be grateful for any old thing, okay? Everything. Try to put it in your journal every day. My journal has a space for that. But you're going to be writing down things that just make you feel a glimmer instead of a trigger. The glimmers are when you feel like good things are happening, where you can really connect with, hey, this is a wonderful thing happening in my life. I'm so glad that it's going on. That type of feeling, all right? Anybody that's with me right now, give me some good news. Tell me something positive that has happened for you in this week. Something that you're grateful for. Put it in the comments. Let me know, okay? I want to share it with the group. And your light is never diminished by sharing it. So always, always, if you have a light, share it. The same way you feel compelled to share negative things. A lot of people feel like that, especially with this trauma. Still go back, find the thing that makes you feel very grateful, and share that just as relentlessly as you share the pain, because your brain is paying attention to what you do. And if you keep on focusing on just the pain, that's what your brain will keep feeding back to you. But if you keep focusing on, hey, this is something I'm grateful for, this is something that opens my heart, that makes me feel good, your brain will focus on that. Okay? It is very, very simple. Our brains are simple creatures. They are employees. We need to tell them what to do. All right. Everybody post in the comments if you got some good news for me to share this Thirsty Thursday. I don't know. I tell you what, it was good for my Thirsty Thursday. I knew I was going to get my husband to watch Bridgerton. I knew I was. Okay. I had it planned out. I was like, I'm going to have it planned when he comes in. And got him. Got him. He was right there alongside me, watching, getting all into it too. I was like, see, I told you it was a good show. I told you you would like it if you watched it. But you know how they are. They don't think that they're going to like girly stuff until they actually see it. Right? All right. So that's what I'm grateful for this Thirsty Thursday. I am grateful that I got to binge all of Bridgerton's season 3, and most of it with my husband. All righty, let's see. What else do I need to tell you? Okay, good Thirsty Thursday. Last thing that I'm always going to tell you to start off with, as you are trying to heal this trauma to your brain, I need you to do something for me. I need you to stop asking all those damn questions. I know you want to. I know your brain is screaming at you to. I know that you say in your head that I have to know the answers to these questions or else I won't be able to heal. I'll never be able to open up again. I'll never be able to trust them again. I am here to tell you that thought that keeps going around in your head, it's a lie, okay? You asking all these questions is a trauma response. It is your brain trying to collect as much information, get as much about this situation as it possibly can in order for this not to happen to you again. It's the same thing as if you see a spider crawling on your ceiling in the room, okay? Your brain is going to watch it. It's going to try and figure out, how big is this spider? Does it have silk? Is it going to be jumping? It wants to know the answers to those questions in order to assess the threat. That is what you are doing when you are asking all those questions. I promise you, it does not help you. It does not help provide you with any closure because, number one, you're not going to remember all these answers. You are traumatized. Unless you are specifically writing down every single solitary thing that you talk about, you're not going to remember. Okay? Even if he gives you a good answer, you're still not going to remember it later on. And the questions trigger this response in your brain over and over. If you don't get the right answer, it sends more adrenaline into your system, more cortisol, more stress hormones into your system, because I don't have the answer to that question that I wanted. And it wasn't a satisfactory answer. It wasn't the answer that I wanted in my head. So it wasn't good enough. Now I'm freaking out even more. It is a terrible, terrible loop. Okay. It is where most people get stuck. It is why, if you have been doing this for like 2 years and you are really stuck, you are probably trying to ask all of those questions over and over and over again. And then every time you do that, your brain is not going to be satisfied with that. It is doing this to make you isolate. It is not doing this to help you heal. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Your brain is not asking you to ask all these questions to heal you. It is telling you that, but that is not the function of this. The function of asking all those questions, to collect all that information, is to get you to back away from a threat. That is what you are treating him as when you are stuck on all these questions. You are believing that he's the threat, he's the danger. I must find out all the information that I can. And the more you do that, the harder it is to stop. Please, if you're with me right now and you understand what I'm talking about, you have had that experience where you ask question after question after question, and it just leads to question after question after question. It doesn't help you. It doesn't make your brain feel any better. It doesn't help the anxiety in your chest. Tell me about it. Raise your hand in the comments if you have experienced that, because it's just like that. Closure will not come from him. It will not come from the person who cheated on you. It is not outside of you. Any closure you ever get in this lifetime is going to come from within you. It is going to come from accepting that this has happened. And yes, it sucks, but you have this situation to work with. You could become a star off of this situation. It could be that you solve this situation and you do something that other people just can't do, and they are amazed by it. All right. That is where you're at right now. You are in that situation. You do not need to concern yourself with asking all those questions. You need to concern yourself with healing your brain. You need to concern yourself with stopping the trauma reaction from tripping itself over and over and over again. You let me know. Isn't it like that? You get stuck. It's just this loop. You feel like you're doing a little bit better for a while. Then you come with the questions. Then he reacts badly because nobody wants to keep being reminded of what they did wrong. And then you get offended because how dare you get offended? And it's this big loop that just keeps going and going and going. The key thing that you need to do is be able to control your brain in this situation, and not asking the questions stops that loop. It stops that rut from forming in your brain and tells your brain, no, 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 we are not asking a whole bunch of questions because we are safe. I am feeling like I can pose this in some other way. If you can pose whatever question it is in a statement form, it will make your brain react to that. It will make your brain slow down. It will make your brain think things through. It won't just be assuming the worst. Okay. So if you stop yourself every time you're about to ask a question, if you cannot flip it around and make it be a statement, then don't ask the question at all. Don't even do it. Just let it go. Say, you know what? This is just my brain having a trauma response. It wants me to ask a whole bunch of damn questions that I don't need to try and make into statements. I don't need that. And you will hear yourself too. If you're making it into a statement like, do you really love me? Okay, if that's what you want to ask him, if your fears and your anxiety and your stress is getting to you, and you're worried that that is the case, that's what you're sitting there thinking. That's what you're feeding to him. I don't believe you love me. All right. If you can flip it around, just that you really can't even flip it around. If you keep on trying to flip it into a statement, it keeps sounding insecure. Any way you put it, you don't really love me, is what it sounds like. All right. If you just stop yourself before you let the question fly and try and change it, you are interrupting that loop in your brain, interrupting the way the trauma is naturally working, and you start to make different pathways in your brain. Does that make sense to everybody? Let me know if I lost you. Let me know if I sound crazy and you don't know what the heck I'm talking about. All right. Let me refresh this, make sure I'm not missing any comments, questions. But that is the basics. I'm always going to tell you those 4 things every single time I talk to you. Now, if you are in the situation where your brain is itching to ask a question and you just can't get rid of the itch, you can't switch it around in your head to make it a statement, you just cannot help but ask a question. All right. Try these instead. All right. This is The And, THEAND. The And. It's by a company called The Skin Deep. And go on Amazon. All you got to put in The And into the search bar and it will pop right up. They have an entire store on Amazon with all different versions of this game. They got parents and children. They've got long-term relationships. This one happens to be the healing edition. It is great questions to ask each other, to connect, to reconnect after this type of trauma has happened. So you will be asking a better question than the questions that you want to ask. The questions that make you feel further away, that make you want to push away. These are questions that are designed to bring you back together, to get that connection going again. That's what we need to aim for if we're going to ask a question, okay? If that's not your aim, asking a question, don't ask a question. Okay, don't ask a question anyway. Sweet Island Chick, I see you over there on Instagram. Hey, girl. All right, so give you a few of these. First one is, what's something we still don't see eye to eye on and why? All right. Look, I know you're going to want him to talk about the cheating, but what if he talks about something else? What if he talks about something else? He's like, yo, there's something else we don't see eye to eye on, and this is a thing for me. Wouldn't that be interesting to find out? Wouldn't it be interesting to know that one of his major problems wouldn't be the same as one of your major problems? Isn't that interesting? That's an interesting thing to find out. That is a good way to build a bridge, build connection between the two of you. What's something we still don't see eye to eye on and why? All right. Get you another one out of the pile over here. This one says, what's the hidden gift of our biggest conflict? That's like finding the gratitude right there. That is the same exact thing. Finding a reason to be happy for even the most egregious conflict. There is something good in everything. Okay. And every single solitary thing that can happen to you on this planet, there could be something good that happens out of it. Okay. Even for me, like COVID got me really sharply laser focused on doing this, on explaining this the best way I can, on getting as many women healed as I possibly could, because we had like the technology going and people were accepting it more and we were on Zoom and doing meetings. It was a good thing, even though a bad thing was overall happening. It actually made me settle down and really see what I really wanted to do with the rest of my life. So in everything, there is some positive thing. We've got to be looking for that. That is another way that our brains change after trauma. We're constantly looking for negative things after our trauma has happened to our brains. If you are consistently making yourself look for good things, you'll start to change that in your brain. So what's the hidden gift of our biggest conflict? What is something that happens? It could be the biggest gift could be you found out that this is actually your person. You found out that, oh, him in particular cheating on me actually wasn't a deal breaker. I found out that I love this person way more than I ever thought I did. Just because you stuck around after the cheating, you have found out something about yourself and about this relationship that you didn't know before, that you would not have known had this not happened. All right. So you all tell me if you got one for this. I would love to hear it. What's the hidden gift in our biggest conflict? And one more for the road. What's the best thing about our relationship? See, they got excellent questions. Aren't those better questions than the questions you wanted to ask? I promise you they are. Okay. What's the best thing about our relationship? You want to hear that more than you want to hear if he kissed her, if he told her he loved her, where they had sex. Wouldn't you want to hear the best thing about your relationship more than you want to hear that? Yeah, I would too. So let's work on that. All right. All right, y'all. That's the basics all done with that part. Now it's time for the Q&A. I am here for you. I love to answer these questions for you. I have been studying this for years, okay? The last 16 years, we have healed in a tremendous way. We have gotten better together. I have the answers to how to get there. I'm trying to tell you, I know the way out of the woods, and I want to lead you out. I want to be your fairy godmother. Come on to me, come talk to me, and let me help you get out of the woods. All right. Come on down. Put your questions in the comments. And if you have not yet, go get yourself a copy of the Dreams Formula. All right. It is posted in the group, it's in the pin section, it is in my link tree on Instagram. Get your How to Heal and Reconcile After Infidelity guide. It will give you the steps of the Dreams Formula, exactly why these things don't work when you do them the opposite way, and they do work when you do them the right way. All right. All righty, let's see. Lots of questions today, I think. Saw a couple over here. All right, Karen. Karen, hi. Glad you're here. Karen said, how do you get past the pain of being cheated on? The betrayal, the lies, and the thought of him touching somebody else. All of that is a trauma reaction. Everything that you're describing, that pain that you feel is a trauma reaction to the betrayal. The experience in betrayal from somebody that you love so much is shattering. It blows your mind because as you're falling in love with somebody, all right, your brain is introducing happy chemicals that tell you, no, it's okay. You can go ahead and trust him 100%. Trust him with everything you got right off the bat. And that's great and all, because what your brain is trying to do is get you to pair bond long enough to have a baby. Okay. That does not last forever. That feeling of, oh, I could just trust him 100%, that is a product of brain chemicals. It is not a product of reality. Okay. It never has been. This person was never 100% trustworthy. Nobody is 100% trustworthy. That has never happened in the history of people. Okay. Do you trust yourself 100%? I don't trust myself 100%. I can get 95, but I don't trust myself a whole 100%. I just don't. I don't trust myself. I procrastinate. I don't trust myself to get stuff done on a doggone schedule. Okay. I cannot trust myself 100% just off the top of my head for those little things. Okay. Nobody ever deserved 100% of your trust. That was just your brain kicking in when you started falling in love. It started pumping in a little bit more testosterone, made you be a little bit less sensitive to things. When you were falling in love with him, his testosterone levels dipped and his estrogen levels went up so he could meet you. And your testosterone levels went up and then your estrogen levels dipped so that you could meet him. You were in an altered state when you first started trusting somebody 100%. Okay. This is probably one of the best things to get that straight in your head, to get you to understand, get this person down off that damn pedestal before they fall and crack their head open. They never deserved to be up on that pedestal in the first place. The only reason you trusted them 100% with all your heart and soul was because you were on brain chemicals. You was on drugs at the time when you felt like that. All right. That was never reality. Okay. So the betrayal is not that strange of a thing to have happened when you think about the fact that this person was never 100% trustworthy. But that's what it feels like. It feels like, how could you betray this trust, this idea that I've had of you in my head all this time? That's where a lot of the betrayal comes from. I never thought he could ever do such a thing, is what I always hear. And that's not dealing in reality. If you never even thought that it was possible for him to cheat, you weren't in reality. You were still bathed in the brain chemicals, running with what your brain was telling you then. Like I said, our brains are designed to do things on autopilot, but that is one of those things that we need to come back to the center and get real clear on, that this person is not 100% trustworthy. I am giving them my trust because my body and my brain are telling me to, not because they have shown themselves to be. People tell me all the time, oh, I only trust people that have shown me that I can trust them. Most people don't do that, especially not with a love relationship. You're not doing that. You are falling in love, and your brain chemicals are like, yes, trust him. Yes, yes, you should do that. And you're like, yes, of course I should. We never really get our trust from what the other person does. We get our trust from inside ourselves. Okay. So the betrayal thing is just an understanding of that they are a human being. They are a person. They can screw it up just like the rest of us can. That does not mean that they will always betray us. That does not mean that that's what their character is. It means that probably they were hurting in some way, and this seemed like a good idea to stop the hurt. Most people, most of what I have seen, it's usually about that. But when you're dealing with this betrayal, you got to understand that they were just a human being. They, yes, did the wrong thing, but that doesn't eliminate the possibility of a relationship forever. And that doesn't mean that they don't deserve a relationship. I heard that a lot when I first started doing this. It was like, well, if you can't stay faithful, then you don't deserve a relationship. And that's not fair. Everybody is designed. We are designed as human beings to connect with one another. A lot of our brain functions go on autopilot in order to connect with other people. So it's not fair to say, oh, because you cheated, you don't deserve a relationship. That's not reality. The reality is people do the wrong thing all the time. People do bad things on a regular basis. It doesn't mean that their love isn't real, and it doesn't mean that they don't deserve to be loved in return. And that's a lot of dealing with the betrayal, is just accepting the fact that this person is not on that pedestal anymore. They are capable of doing the wrong thing. And it's not a flaw in them. It's not a flaw in you. It is just part of being a human being. We are going to do wrong sometimes. Okay. Does that make sense? As far as the lies, there's a saying that falsehood is the child of fear. I think it's what the quote is. Everybody that lies because they're afraid. We don't lie because we just feel like lying. Well, okay, some sociopaths, some narcissists, they do. They just lie because they want to lie. It makes them feel good to lie. Okay, yeah. But most people, us regular folk who don't have severe psychiatric issues, usually the reason that we lie is because we're afraid of something. And so if he lied, you got to dig into the fear of the lie. If he was in that place feeling fearful, feeling like I could lose you, I could lose everything that I really have worked for, the things that I really love and I want in my life, you're going to be false. A lot of people don't have the strength, the fortitude to still tell the truth if they think that they're risking everything. They just don't. So that is just a part of a function of being a human being too. We do lie. We do. And you have to accept that. Now, most of this is just radical acceptance, accepting that it did happen, accept that they are capable of lying just like you are, but believing the best of them, believing that they've seen that this is painful for you. They don't want this to go on for you anymore. They don't want to hurt you anymore. All right. Just got to believe the best of them. And then, oh, the thoughts. The thoughts, oh, it's part of the trauma response. Again, same thing. Every woman out here has had those thoughts, those ideas of, oh, them together and them breathing heavy. Oh, of course, that gets into your head. That is just another one of those trauma responses. Your brain doesn't want you to connect with him again. It wants you to back away because this is a threat. So if I send you images of your mated pair mating with somebody else, then that's going to make you want to back off. That's going to make you want to withdraw and not deal with your mate anymore. That is what your brain is doing when it keeps on feeding you those pictures over and over again. A simple way to go about it is to acknowledge it when it happens. All right. When you got those pictures going in your brain, him touching her, seeing those flashes like it's a movie that you've never actually seen. Hopefully you haven't actually seen it. I know some people end up seeing the video, but hopefully you haven't actually seen it. Your brain makes that stuff up in order to make you back away more. So you've got to tell your brain in the moment, hey, that is not flipping helpful. Okay, it is not. You showing me that, what does that do? That gives me absolutely nothing. That does not help me heal in any way, shape, or form. It does not help me trust again. It's not even real. I made that up. It's not helpful to me, brain. I need you to pick another thought and set your brain to the assignment of thinking of another thought. If it has to be like a video you love or a song you really like, whatever it is, assign your brain a different task. Tell it, no, 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 no. I don't want to see that in my brain, the two of them being intimate. Whether I have seen it in real life or not, I don't think that is helpful to me. Brain, I need you to come up with something else and make it do it. All right. Just constantly always bring your thoughts back to, hey, brain, no, no, no. We're going to think of something else. Every single time those thoughts pop into your head, do your deep breathing, settle your body, settle your brain, tell your brain that you are not in any danger when that happens, and then tell your brain it needs to think of something else. All right. Can you let me know if you got any more questions about that? Happy to answer. Happy to answer. All right. Any other questions? Anybody else got any questions? Elise. Hey, Elise. You said, how can you decipher whether you have a gut feeling about something or if it's anxiety and paranoia playing mind tricks on you? I am here to tell you that gut feelings are all anxiety. I know. It sucks. When people are saying that to me, they are talking about that clenching. It is a clenching in your gut. It is, oh, something is wrong. All right. That is a real physical manifestation of anxiety from your body you're feeling. Okay. It is a real thing. It is not a gut feeling. It is not some mystical, magical thing. When you're feeling that, it is painful down in your gut. That is an anxiety response, okay? That is not your women's intuition. It is not. It is just anxiety. I promise you, every time you feel it, that's what it is. Because it's always a feeling of dread, isn't it? It's always a feeling like something is bad, something is wrong, something is going to happen. That is anxiety. It is not your intuition. I promise you that's not what it is. What is actually physically happening? Remember I told you about that little part of your brain is called the amygdala. It is the little part of your brain that's the worst case scenario portion of your brain. All right. I experienced it this last week because my son is 16 and I have to let him drive. Okay. My amygdala shoots some adrenaline into my system, makes my gut clench up and says, but what if he drives off the edge of the road? What if you hit a tree? What if he's not paying attention? What if he's going too fast? All right. That is what the gut feeling is. It is all that anxiety clenched up into your gut because your brain has sent some adrenaline into your system and told you that something bad could happen. All right. That is the difference. Your intuition is quiet. Okay. Your intuition doesn't feel like it punched you in the gut. Okay. It does not feel like that. That is not the same thing. Your intuition is a very quiet, very still knowing. You know. It is not, I fear. It is not down in here. It's, I fear this is happening. You want to cover yourself and protect yourself from the thing. All right. It is not that. Your intuition, your woman's intuition, whatever you want to call it, is I know. And here, let me tell you what to do about it. That is your intuition. Your intuition has solutions. Okay. Your gut feelings don't have no solutions, do they? It's just fear and stress and anxiety. And that's all your gut has to tell you. Your actual intuition will come to you with some suggestions about what you can do about it. Okay. Does that make sense to you, Elise? That's the easiest way to know That's what it is. It is that pain from that oh, something bad is gonna happen. That is paranoia, anxiety, that gut-wrenching feeling. That is a real physical feeling. Oh, let me tell you. Okay, yeah. All right. Out of your brain, amygdala, sends adrenaline into your system. What happens when that happens? You know how you feel like your heart is about to beat out of your chest? When that happens, your blood flow is actually changing. Your brain sent the adrenaline into your system, sped up your heart rate so that your blood will actually shift around in your body. It's not going in a regular circle around your body that it normally does. It goes to your arms and your legs so that you can fight or that you can run. It drains from your brain and everything. You'll actually hear it too. When you're freaking out, you will hear that whooshing sound in your ears, or it feels like all the blood starts to drain from your brain. It is a physical thing that is happening, okay? That is a real live physical symptom of anxiety. So, what is happening there is your blood flow is shifting around to your arms and your legs. So, it's shifting away from the middle part of your body where all your organs are. That's why you feel that feeling in your gut. That is actually the feeling of your digestion stopping. Okay, that's the feeling that you're talking about, that gut feeling, like, oh, something bad. That is the feeling of your digestion grinding to a halt inside your body because your brain has told you that you need to be in fight or flight mode. It empties out your stomach, makes some people have to go to the bathroom, and it clenches that stomach up and tells your body, hey, no digestion is going to be going on. You got the part of your body that is like rest and digest. That part is not active now. We need the part where we need to fight or we need to run. All right. So that is what you're feeling when you're feeling that gut feeling. That is your indigestion because your brain has stopped your digestive tract from flowing like it's supposed to. Does that make sense? He said, wow, your intuition has solutions and suggestions. That was beautifully said. Thank you. Thank you, girl. That, I had to learn the difference. I did, because it was like I was feeling all that anxiety. I had anxiety before this even happened with my husband, but I'm listening to this terrible gut feeling, and everybody tells me I should listen to my gut, but that is not what my intuition sounded like. My intuition is almost a voice in my ear. It stops me. It is you have to be in a more still place to hear your intuition. Because if you are in this turmoil, this fight or flight, and your blood is whooshing all around your body, you can't hear that. You can't hear that quiet, still voice. So we've got to work on regulating our emotions first, getting ourselves in a better emotional state, and then you can actually hear your intuition. All right? Because your intuition can be real quiet. It'd be like, shh, 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 shh. Let me tell you something. All right. It's a very quiet. It is not a kick in the gut like that anxiety is. It really isn't. All right. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? I want to hurry up because I don't know if Instagram's gonna cut off on me again like it did last week. All righty. Let's see. Angela. Angela said, dealing with change. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. Kids are grown and have now moved out, moving to a new state where my husband's job is. He would previously come home for a long weekend every other week and quit my job. Angela, so much change happening all at the same time. And I understand you because my husband is already, we got 2 more years with my son, but he is already freaking out about us being empty nesters. We're not going to have any kids in the house. We've always had kids in the house. We're not going to have any kids in the house really soon. What are we going to do? He's already freaking out about it. All right. I'm sitting here like, I don't mind. Doesn't bother me at all. We don't have to have the kids in the house. We can always call them. We can always FaceTime them. It's fine. But he's like, what will we do? And this is a different stage of life for you, Angela. That's what you're living through right now, is your story is going on. You have dealt with all the change and the stress and the anxiety that came with the betrayal, but now life is presenting you with a brand new level. new level, new devil is what they say. You are have to deal with the change, the fact that the kids are not going to be around, they're not going to be in your space anymore. You are going to have to learn to be together and maneuver the space just with the two of you, just with your own schedules. You're going to have to learn a new place now that you can actually go to where he is instead of him having to always come back to you. That's going to be a big change too. A lot of it with change is just accepting it. I used to use an analogy about how people who are caught in avalanches, if you are trying to stop yourself against this force of nature, against this entire mountain moving you, you try and reach out, you try and stop yourself, you try and grip, you end up hurting yourself worse. You end up more broken bones because you're trying to stop the fall. You're trying to stop yourself rolling with the actual change that is going on around you. But if you just fall, if you just go, you are less likely to get hurt. You are not fighting against the forces of nature coming down on your head. And that's what this is. It's just the forces of life just coming at you, giving you the new stage in your relationship, because everybody goes through stuff like this, going through having your kids leave. There's a stage where you are dealing with either the sickness or the loss of your parents together. You are just going into the next adventure that you are going into with your mate. Embrace it, accept it, be excited about it. Everybody always feels like they're anxious about things, but anxiety and anticipation are pretty much the same exact feeling. If you keep telling your brain that you are excited about this, I'm so excited about moving, I'm so excited about quitting my job, I'm so excited about a new job, instead of believing that it's anxiety, you can change the way your brain experiences it and say, oh, I'm so excited, I cannot wait for this to happen. It gives you the same physical feeling, because when you're anxious about something happening, you can't eat, you can't sleep. When you're anxious, when you're excited about something happening versus when you're anxious with something happening, the same things happen to your body. So that's what you're dealing with now. You need to change your mindset to, I am so excited about this. I cannot wait. I can feel in my body that the tension, the anticipation is building up. I cannot wait for this to happen. I can't wait to see how we work through it. I can't wait to see how our story continues to unfold. You had this fairy tale with him, and you are moving on to the next chapters of the fairy tale. You must go through, you must continue on with the story. You can't just stop. Life is going to continue to drag you along, even if you do try and stop. So you might as well go ahead and accept it, take it to heart, and get really excited about it. Whatever anxiety and anticipation that you are feeling, tell your brain that that feeling is actually, I'm super excited, I can't wait for this. And your brain will start to believe you. It will start to feed that back to you instead of making you feel like you're nuts. Does that make sense? It's a lot. It's a lot. It's accepting the fact that things change all the time, and that's not a bad thing. It's really not. It's a good thing that things change. It's a good thing that we have all these new adventures that we can have together throughout an entire lifetime. It's just scary when they come up. And we just got to accept the fact that, yes, it's a little scary, but it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so amazing to build your life again. You're going to be able to do it again. You have the opportunity, you have the time and space and the new circumstances to be able to rebuild your life again. That is a beautiful thing. All right. All righty. Let me see. Any other questions? Okay. Can't scroll up. There we go. Anybody else? All right. Nothing else up there. Got another question down here from Leanne. Leanne, you've been with me for a minute. How you doing, Leanne? You and your honey still all right? You doing okay? You said you were going to try and make it here since you didn't have therapy tonight, or you didn't have counseling tonight. So I hope you made it with us over here, Leanne. Leanne said, how do I stop being triggered? How do I heal in a situation that harmed me, especially if there is very slow change? I'm feeling hopeless. Even the counselor we spent over a year finding fired us and said we're not ready. She can't help when I am still being triggered. So now cheated and lied, and I feel like it's my fault and can't be fixed. I'm so sad inside right now. I am in shock and unable to feel because I fear if I feel it, what might happen. If you feel it, what might happen. All right. So, first thing, answering about being triggered. All right. Couple things you need to know about triggers. And I think I'm doing a tricky triggers challenge in September, but we're gonna go over it a little bit right now. As far as triggers are sensory. Triggers are things that enter into your senses through your sense of sight, smell, touch, taste, hearing. It is all of those feelings. You will get information that will remind you of the trauma. That's all it is. That's all a trigger is. And so, what you need to do to be able to stop being triggered is to, number one, when something triggers you, do not run from it. All right. If you run from the trigger, it's going to chase you. Okay. It's like those monsters. I found out that not everybody has these dreams. And that's weird to me because I had them as a kid all the time. The thing is chasing you in your dream. Does anybody understand what I'm talking about? Y'all had the monster chasing you in the dream, and you can run and run and run, and you're out of breath, and it's just right there behind you at all times. It's like Jason. It's not gonna leave you alone. It's following right behind you. Um, when you're in that dream, the way to make that dream stop is to stop running and to turn around to the monster. That is the way you cure that dream, is to tell yourself in the dream, hey, I'm not going to run anymore. I am going to turn around and I'm going to face this monster, and whatever happens, happens. And when you do that, most of the time the dream will stop. That's what you have to do with triggers. You have to turn around and face the doggone trigger. You cannot let it chase you around. It will continue to chase you until you just keel over. Okay. You won't have enough breath, enough stamina to run from a trigger forever, because it's not outside of you, it's inside of you. This is your senses reacting to something that reminds you of a trauma, and it makes your body say, I am in danger. That is what we're dealing with when we're dealing with a trigger. So don't run from it. That's the first thing. Turn around, face it, confront it. If it's a song, play the song over and over again so you get desensitized. If it's the sound of his phone, listen to that over and over again so you get desensitized. If it's a specific like scene in a movie, watch it. Do not let your trigger make you flee from your feelings, flee from the situation, because then that reinforces to your brain, oh yeah, this is something that's dangerous. See how she ran? So next time we know that it's dangerous again, and then your brain doesn't stop. Okay. So we've got to do that. And you got to recognize the feeling of being triggered in your body. That's the other thing that you can do really well to stop being triggered. You got to feel it in your body, where whenever you're triggered, write it down. Be as specific as you can, because everybody's body does the same thing when we're traumatized. You get that spurt of adrenaline from the amygdala, from the worst case scenario part, starts your heart beating all fast, starts your stomach twisting, starts feeling like your throat is constricting, gives you tightness around your head, makes your eyes feel like they're narrowing focus. All sorts of things happen when you are experiencing trauma. So write it down. Whatever is going on in your body, it does not matter what it is, just write it down, okay? And as you are going through your day-to-day life and you feel that feeling, recognize that you're triggered automatically. Assume that that feeling means I am triggered. Even if you don't recognize it mentally yet, you will be able to backtrack it. You'll be able to feel that feeling, be like, oh, hey, that's the feeling that I have when I'm triggered. What just happened? And you'll backtrack a couple of steps and you'll be able to figure out what happened. Your body feels the trigger before your brain can comprehend it, if that makes sense to you. So your brain will not know that that feeling means I'm triggered. Your brain will just be like, oh, that's uncomfortable. What the heck is that? It will not tell you, oh, you just got triggered by X, Y, and Z that just happened. It's not going to say that. You've got to recognize the feeling in your body, then say, I am triggered. What just happened to trigger me? And walk it back. And whatever it is, confront it. Whatever it is, go ahead and put it in your face. Do not back away from it. Once you have figured out what it is, don't back away from it. Don't run from it. Try and confront it as much as you can in a controlled way, and tell your body and your brain that this is not something that I am going to continue to be afraid of. This is not something that's going to continue to be a threat to me. I am refusing that. I am telling you from reality that is not a real thing. I do not want to continue to feel like that. Body, brain, get it together. Okay? Let's see. How do I heal in a situation that harmed me? And day by day, every day you wake up and you put both feet on the floor and you say, I am healing. I am forgiving. I am loving. I am understanding. I am compassionate. I am okay. I am safe every single day. It's feeding that message to your brain instead of your brain feeding you the fear speech, always telling you how that they're just not trustworthy and this is never gonna be over and they're always gonna cheat on you, this that and the third. You know how insistent those thoughts are. Be just as insistent with your positive thoughts. Insist to your brain, no, that negative stuff, that is not reality. That is not real. I am telling you what is real, brain. And this is what's real. These positive things are real because your brain does not know the difference between imagination and reality. It does not know that. It is not aware of that. So you telling it something is what it will take in and what it will believe and input back and output back out to you. Okay. So that's what we got to be working on, paying attention to what the thoughts are inside of our brains, steering them towards the positive, dealing with the triggers as they come. All right. And I'm sorry that you're feeling hopeless, but you all have been sticking it out. You all are still together. Even though I don't care if the counselor says you're not ready or not, you're still together. You're still trying. You're still wanting this to work out. And it absolutely can work out, but you've got to start regulating your feelings. This whole thing was like devastation. I think you kind of got stuck in the devastation, kind of got stuck in the, I can't get over the fact that you cheated. I can't get over the fact that you lied. And I'm just crumbled on the floor and I'm just not myself and I'm not okay. And the longer you stay down, the easier it is to believe that forever and ever. Your body and your brain will keep telling you, oh, well, yeah, you're broken. You're never going to be fixed. You're never going to gather up your marbles. You're never going to stand on your own 2 feet again. You're never going to get these emotions regulated. And then you're never going to get to the next phase, which is recreating the relationship with them. You're never going to get there. Your brain will keep telling you that. So what you have to do is you have to start regulating your emotions. You have to start recognizing what you're feeling and then challenging what you're feeling instead of just running with it, letting it drag you along, letting it make you lash out at the person that you love, that you're trying so hard to heal with. You can't let your trauma reactions continue to run the show. You cannot let your brain just go ahead and lash out all willy-nilly at the person that you love and then expect them to believe that you love them. And you're not going to heal like that. Your brain is constantly getting the message that you're always in threat. So your relationship can't be good. You can't ever relax. You can't just have a peaceful, chill relationship because your body is constantly on high alert, believing the worst is going to happen to you. So you've got to get control of that first. That is the first thing. I know you want him to fix it. I know everybody wants him to fix it, but it just does not work like that. He cannot crawl into your ear and tinker around in your brain. You're the only person that can change your brain. So you start to work on changing your brain. You're going to be ready. You're going to be more open to things that the therapist is willing to do. And then you'll be more willing. They'll be more willing. And then the two of you can get on the track together to healing. Does that make sense? It can be fixed. Even if it is your fault, it can still be fixed. So I'm like, if it is your fault, great, because now you're the one that definitely can do something about it. But don't get yourself feeling all sad and down about it. Try and pull yourself up out of that and say, you know what? It is not going well right now, but I have a vision for the future. Write that down. Journal that too. That will help with you too, Leah. Sit down with your journal and write down what things would be like with your person if everything was wonderful. If you had completely healed from this, if you had totally forgiven them, if it was like this never even happened, who would you be to them? How would you behave? How would you expect the relationship to go? Write down as much detail as you possibly can and then reread that over and over again. That's another way to train your brain. I wouldn't be all triggered if I was all healed up and everything was wonderful. The triggers wouldn't bother me. They would exist. I would still feel them because they're part of my brain now, but I would experience them. I would know that that's what they are. And then I would exhale and let it go. That's what would happen if you were healed. Right now, if you are triggered, you're not healed. So your body and your brain are like, we must hold on to this forever. It is bad. It is terrible. We've got to continue to feel bad. That's what your brain is doing now. So we've got to get on board with letting our brain know what we want it to do and then start to change that, start to be consistently feeding it the information that we want it to come back out to us. All right, that makes sense? Let's see. All right. And, feelings, if you are worried about what you're going to do for a feeling, everybody that I talk to, we are trying to master the space in between and a stimulus and a response. That's what we're trying to do. We got what happened and what we do about it. There is a space there, even though it does not feel like it. When you are in the midst of this, you just lash out and you just react. It feels like there is no space there. It feels like, oh, it's trigger reaction every time. But there is not just trigger reaction. There is trigger, space, reaction. You have choices in that space. You have things that you can do. You have things that you can do better or worse in that moment in time. What we need to do is stretch out that moment. That is what you are trying to do here. When you are triggered, it is not just the thing that your brain tells you to do. It's go tell him how bad you feel immediately after the trigger. No. That is not what I'm going to do, because you'll feel it. It's all in your chest. It's all in your stomach. It's that gut feeling. It'll be demanding you do something. You've got to learn to hear that command in your brain and say, wait a damn minute. I am the boss here. I am not your employee. You are mine. I don't have to react like that. I am choosing not to react like that. I don't think that that's the good idea. You're going to have to listen to me. And you tell your brain what to do in that moment instead of freaking out by lengthening the space between a trigger and your response. Does that make sense? Let me know if that's crazy sounding to you. It's a difficult thing to do. It's hard to lengthen out that space, but if you are aware of how you're feeling, and then you just say, wait. I feel the feelings. The feelings are coming over me. I feel the feelings. I'm feeling hurt and I'm feeling sad and I'm feeling frustrated and I am feeling like things are not going to go well. Where is that feeling coming from? What am I believing in my head? What version of reality am I believing that makes me feel like things are going to go badly? What am I thinking? What am I afraid of that makes me feel like that? If you can start to do that on a regular basis, just examine the thoughts, space it out before you actually do something about the thought. A lot of the time you can conquer the thoughts. You can get to the place of feeling like you've got control over yourself. Your feelings are getting more regulated. You are not in a space where you're just going to flip out and react to everything. Okay. All right. I think that's all the questions. Anybody else got questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, anything else? You know I love answering these questions for you. And please make sure you get my Dreams Formula Guide. Make sure you put that into your computer tonight and get some information from me about this Dreams Formula and some information about the step-by-steps that you need to take to be able to get on the healing path and get to a better place. And on the thank you page, like as soon as you sign up, it'll go to the next page. You can click on the link and it will you can download the guide from right there. But it's like a black and purple page. It is My next event. All right. I'm having an event on the 22nd, which is not this upcoming Saturday, but the following Saturday after that. And it is getting your happy ending after infidelity. I tell you about the fairy tale. I tell you about how to get to your happy ending in this story. So I want you to be there for that so I can answer your questions about that and tell you a little bit more about what I do. Okay. All right. Any other questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, anything else for me? You know I love to answer you. All right. Well, we always talk about the things that we can do to actually stop this trauma response, to get our brains back under control, to get them out of autopilot mode and stop them from just replaying and rehashing the trauma over and over again. Taylor, I see you over there on Instagram. Hey, girl. But part of that trauma response is your brain telling you awful things about yourself. It's going to tell you awful things about your partner too, absolutely. But it's going to tell you terrible things about yourself because if you hear those terrible things about yourself, if you beat up on yourself, you won't want to heal. You will believe the worst of yourself. You will back away. You will hide yourself away in a little hole instead of reconnecting with your partner. In your brain thinks that that keeps you safer, but it really doesn't. It just makes you more disconnected. It doesn't keep you any safer. It does not make you feel any better. It just keeps you away from people. So it will tell you terrible things about yourself. What your job is to not believe all the hype. Okay. Your brain will tell you all these things. And like I have been telling you, your brain is on autopilot. It will tell you things that are not true just to get you to back away from this relationship, just to get you to back away from closeness in general. So we cannot believe what our brain is telling us. We must, every single time it tells us something negative about ourselves, flip that thought around and tell ourselves something positive about ourselves. We do not want to live with all the negative things that our brain could say about us. So you need to do your affirmations. I need you to do this, okay? I need you to work on this. Do your affirmations on a day-to-day basis. I got a deck of cards. Came from Five Below. Look at that. Beautiful. Affirmation cards. Great affirmations on every one of them. Does not matter where you get this from. I don't care. Go on Google if you need to, but get some affirmations and start saying them to yourself. You are the main character here. And if you are telling yourself awful things about yourself, you are never going to survive this story. You are not going to make it to the end. You're not going to get the happy ending. You've got to feel real good about yourself as the main character to be able to carry this off, to be able to get to the place where you're healed and your relationship is healed and you are not suffering anymore. You've got to be the big time main character, okay? You got to believe in yourself something fierce to be able to get to that place. I believe in you. I know you can do it, but it's easier for you to believe in you if you're doing your affirmations. So you're doing affirmations, simple. Look yourself in the eye, whether you're on camera, in the bathroom mirror, wherever you're at, and tell yourself the phrase like you mean it, like it is the truest thing you've ever said, like you're trying to make your best friend believe it about themselves. You need to say it like you really, really mean it. And what you're doing is you're giving your brain a recording, video and audio, of you saying a wonderful thing about yourself, that is the theme for the day. That is how I actually feel about myself. Yes, my brain is on autopilot and it's telling me terrible things about myself. However, that's not really me. That's not the way I feel about myself. I'm going to change it up. Okay. Look yourself in the eye. Tell yourself with feeling this opposite thought from the negative thought. So the thought for today is, today I feel good. All right. Say it like James Brown if you need to. I feel good. Today I feel good. Today I know deep down that I look good, feel good, and I'm a good person. That's a good one, right? That should make you feel some kind of way when you say it about yourself. And it's hard with affirmations because you say them in present tense and it feels like, well, I don't really feel like that about myself. That is not your business, okay? That is not your business to worry about how you feel about the affirmation. Your business is to say the affirmation like you mean it. Your brain doesn't know the difference between make believe and reality. It does not know. So if you're constantly telling yourself, no, this isn't real, no, that's not the way I feel, your brain will be like, oh, yeah, that's not real. That's not the way that she really feels. But if you're constantly telling yourself, this is exactly how I feel about myself, today I feel good. I know deep down I look good. I feel good. I'm a good person. I know this. If you continuously say that, your brain doesn't know that you're making it up. It does not know, okay? Stop making that be a block for yourself. Don't worry yourself. Don't worry your pretty little heads over believing the affirmation. All you need to do is say it like you mean it. Say it like you do believe it. And that is the impression that you're going to leave on your brain. Your brain is going to continuously be replaying the idea that I feel good. Today I feel good. Today I know I look good. I feel good. I'm a good person. It will continuously be feeding that back to you during the day if you are insistent upon your brain getting that as the message. So you got to be look yourself in the eye and tell yourself with all your heart that you believe this affirmation. Okay, it will work. Don't you worry about whether you believe it or not. That is not your business. Your whole business is to just tell yourself. Once you keep doing that over and over again, your brain is going to align with whatever you tell it to do. Okay. All right, see? Any other questions? I think that's it. I think that's all that I got. Don't see any more. Wrong page. I don't think I see any more on the post. Let me see on the video. Any questions in the comments? And yes, I was working on my journal yesterday. That bad boy is gonna be out. I'm gonna need some beta testers for it. I'm gonna need some people. So if you want a journal for free, let me know if you're interested in beta testing it out for me. It's gonna be 12 weeks. It's gonna be like 3 months. So let me know if you want to get one and you want to try it out and see if it's good for you. Because I put everything in there. I put your deep breathing, put your 5-minute journaling, day and night. I put drinking water, put a star in the corner for great days, affirmations, coloring pages. I got it all in there. Okay. So yeah, you got a lot of stuff to help you on the journey. So let me know if you're interested in getting a journal from me. That will be completed very, very shortly here. All right. I think that's about it, y'all. Any other questions? I think that's all I got for now. Thank you all so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. We have been going strong with this, and I want to tell you how much I appreciate you all. I love being here and being able to tell you all of the secrets of the healing. I enjoy being able to do that because nobody was able to tell me, and I was a little lost. So I enjoy being able to inspire you, to tell you that this story does not have to end like this. This story can be a good story. The ending to this can be one of the ones that make people stand up and cheer in the movies. Okay. It can be that, but you've just got to do the work for your own brain, for your own sanity. That's all. That's all you need to work on you. You do not have to fix him. You do not actually even have to fix the relationship. You fix the trauma response that is going on inside you, the reactions, the lashing out, the thoughts, all of that. If you can get control over that, he will see you starting to travel that healing path, and he'll be right down behind you, and the relationship will unfold the way it's supposed to too. So I just want to get you started. That's where I am. I want to get you on the path. I want you to know what your brain and your body are doing to you, get you on the path and start shooing you that way so your honey can catch up with you and you can lead your way out of the woods because you are the main character. All right. All righty, y'all. That's it. Thank you for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. I will be back again next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until then, work on your affirmations, do your deep breathing, do your journaling, be grateful. Don't ask all those questions. And I will see you again next week. All right. Bye, y'all. Bye, Instagram. And bye over here on Facebook and YouTube. I will check you out again next week.